Bugging in. When an emergency happens that makes you need to stay home, we call that a bug in. Bugging in is usually preferred over bugging out for most emergencies. What can make you bug in? Pandemic, like we saw during COVID-19, tornado, power blackout, shelter-in-place request or order, any emergency where the safest place is inside your home. And there's a good long list of this. It's just a few examples, but most of the time, if you're debating between the two, bugging in is usually best. So to prepare to bug in, you need to figure out on your house, if the grid was down, nothing in, nothing out of your house. You're not going outside for anything. Utilities are down. Drainage is down. Can you handle waste disposal? Can you handle your food, your water needs, your medical needs, your security needs, all of your needs? Can you handle all of that? Plan how to handle all of that. Stock up on what you need to handle all of those concerns. And organize the items that you have. Make sure that you can find things when the power goes out, because that could be your first warning of an emergency, is the power going out. It is a possibility. You want to make sure you're organized in such a way that you can find what you need without burning up all your batteries on your flashlight trying to find your first item, or not even being able to find your flashlight at all. You need to be able to have everything organized in a way that you can quickly and easily access the most important items first, and knowing where everything is. And drill it. Make sure that this stuff works. Another thing that I was going to show was this is a bug-in to-do list. The point behind a bug-in to-do list here is it is a very short list where each item here is quick and easy to read, and it's very specific to what I would need to do, and it's in the order that I would really want to pay attention to them. Now, each one of these things is kind of general because emergencies are always different and they might govern different things. I'm first going to want to take a look at my toilet. If there is anything left over, if the toilet did not properly flush the last time and it has something left over in there, over the course of just a day or two, it can have a very horrible smell, which is more than just an inconvenience for you. It could be a health hazard because it's going to attract all the bugs that are meant to break that down and all of the diseases that those bugs are bringing in, which will be plentiful in a grid down situation. So making sure that I look at my toilet at least and consider flushing it. If I've already lost water and the water appears clear, maybe I'll skip that because I would lose the water in the back of my toilet tank, which I might need that for washing or other use in there. So if the water's still running, I want to make sure that's refreshed down there in that bowl. Take care of my food. Food items are, if my fridge hasn't already stopped, then I will want to pull the items out of there that I need to pull out of there and hope it cools back down. But pulling out enough food to be able to last the first few hours at least, whatever I think I can eat in the next 4 to 6 hours, I'm going to pull out of that fridge and then let it cool down. Now, if the power's already out, I'm not going to worry about it. Money. If I need to go to the bank and get something, if the emergency hasn't already started yet, I might still be able to go to the bank, get something out of the ATM. Or if you have an electric vault into your house where you have to pull something out of there, if it is dependent on electricity, If you have, I don't know, maybe a vault full of gold too, maybe you want some of those valuables, that would be included on that. Being able to get into that vault might require electricity, and you want to take care of that while the electric grid is still up. And shaving is going to be easier with the electric razor. You can shave, you can put it back on the charger. That's a good time to take care of that, and it is important right then too, especially if it is a risk of a NBC environment. You might need to put on your mask, and that way you have a nice clean face to let that mask seal properly to you. So a shave is next in order. Then I'm going to take a look at my electric on my house and make sure that that is in the correct mode to handle what I need to handle. Making sure that any of my electric switches that need to be off are off. The other switches that need to be on are on. Just paying attention to the electric depending on what the type of emergency is, what I'm needing to deal with. And water in my bathtubs and sinks. Flood my basins. Also fill any other containers that I might need for water. If the water's still running, get the water I'm going to need. The last minute water. Try and get whatever I can. Natural gas. That's the utility gas, and make sure that's in the correct position as well for whatever I'm dealing with. Probably turning that off if it's been like an earthquake or something like that. Might need to switch over to propane. Might need to secure the propane. I'm going to pay attention to propane next. And then utility water. Probably turning that off. Just depends. Maybe I need to make sure that it's on, but making sure that I'm on the correct mode for that too. Then I'm going to pay attention to my structural integrity. You know, if there was an earthquake, chances are my first notice on that was the ground shaking. So I've already checked, made sure my natural gas is off. Propane, in this case, is off till I can inspect it. Water is off. Electric's off. Structural integrity. I want to make sure here that I have my place with good structural integrity. If it was a make sure here that I don't have damage that's going to cause it to fall. I'm going to want to look at that structure. I'm going to want to put plastic over windows that are broken. Make sure that I have a structure that I'm in, that I have the shelter intact. Take care of the lights. Make sure that my lighting is where I need it as well. Maybe I need the lights out, maybe I need the lights on, maybe I need the lights in a position where I can see what I'm doing but no one else can even see that I have lights on. Maybe I'm going to go to, you know, low power inside. Just depends on what the emergency is. So paying attention to my lights, paying attention to my weapons. What is my situation with that? Am I better off with them secured, or am I better off with them out? It just depends on what I'm dealing with there too. But that's my next item to pay attention to. Alarms, making sure that the alarms are in the correct mode. Should I have the main alarm? Should I have the backup alarm? Which type of alarm should I be running? Are they in the correct mode to run? And yeah, I do also deal with computer systems too. That would be dealing with the grid down systems at that point, because my main systems were taken offline when I took off the electric up here. But the computer systems down here, these are the backup systems. These are the ones here that will run without the main grid power. And then last of all, once all of that's in place, those partly also help to monitor the alarms too. That's part of the reason why they're on my list. You may or may not have all of these things that you're worrying about, but this is just an example list. Last thing though, I do recommend it on a list, a health check. You don't want to go through all of this effort and not pay attention to the shard of glass that got lodged into you when the earthquake hit and knocked out your window, and you don't realize that you're bleeding out. Check your body, make sure you are in good shape after you're done doing all of these checks on your structural integrity, your lights, all of this other stuff, make sure you're not all cut up and address that situation as you need to. So, that is that. Thanks for watching.